Today's talk is about high performance habits. To me, high performance habits is having the mind and body in unison to focus together. Now, in my earlier life, I was just a go-getter. I had to force everything. I would barely sleep 3 hours a night. That was it. I was not going to stop. I was going to keep pushing and pushing and pushing. And that worked all right for a while, but over time it was tiring. The body took its toll. I got exhausted, but I refused to listen to the exhausted. I kept pushing and growing and working on myself. High performance habits completely changed. Now, one of them is the way we eat. I have my smoothie here. This happens to be the second one for the day. Why do I have a smoothie? It's got cooling vegetables in it that helps nourish my mind and body, that it's going to fire up calmly because it's got what it needs. Now, I know personally, if I put sugar in it, my body's not going to take that. I can't keep still. My skin gets agitated. My stomach feels all upset. So if I want to be a high performance and reach my goals, it's not going to work for me eating the wrong foods. I've narrowed down the foods that work for me, and that happens to be plant-based. If there's foods that I don't eat and put it in there, it's just going to agitate me. And I want to stay focused and be able to enjoy life. Now, other important things for high performance, other than the foods, is doing meditation. I meditate every day. That's what we call personal prayer. I do some exercise. I like yoga a lot. I do my strength building. I also make sure I sleep properly, and I do breathing. Now, why are these so important to be able to reach high performance? Now, for me, when I first started out meditating, I would walk around and this is going to happen. I was almost like it was like an anger session to let everything off. I couldn't keep still. I was so angry. I wanted this to happen. I was upset that it wasn't happening. And I realized, hey, I'm just having a time to get upset with myself. But then I realized meditation is just about calming the mind and body down to bring it in a rest state. Sitting still, lying down, whatever fashion it may be. I don't put a criteria on myself where I have to be, what position. It's not going to be easy sometimes. So I'll go in another position. And my mind's going to be running. I want to quieten it down. Now, my old habit was, I'm going to stop that thought. I'm not going to think about it. But then after a while, I was like, hey, I'm actually focusing on what I don't want. So if I'm focusing on what I don't want, I'm going to get it. So then eventually I was able to come to calmness. Then I realized I can actually do it for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, hour, whatever it may be. But what happened in that process, I was actually able to realize that the mind can come back to calmness when it's ready. So the mind is racing now, and at the same time I don't need to fight this. I know in the long run it's going to come back. And it took so much pressure off me when I decided to just let go of having to force it and just allow it to come back when it's ready. It doesn't have to be in my time. And you know what? Every time I just said, it's going to happen, wow, it came so much quicker. And I was able to focus on the task at hand. And what this did is brought the body and mind all in harmony and calmness. And another thing I do yoga. Yoga has a very big benefit. It teaches a breathing. Now also what it does is, at the same time when I'm doing it, I'm able to stretch more. I'm able to do a bit more. So what am I doing that time? I'm thank you. I'm always being thank you, getting excited that I can see the growth and it was happening. It may be the smallest thing. It may be a little bit more than I did yesterday, but I'm practicing being thankful. And I know if I go into a yoga and I don't feel like I want to do it, I actually did an injury once because I just don't have the time, and I forced it anyway. But there was so much locked up, the body locked up, and I had a slight injury. But I did it the next time. I realized it was from that. I was I know the benefits. I looked at the bigger picture instead of being at the moment. That I know how I feel afterwards. So then I focused on that, did my breathing, and it just opened up. It released the muscle that was tight. So there's benefits in it as well. Everything we do is focusing on the positive, focusing on the good, and allowing it to come in. Now, these are not things that just happen overnight. I've been meditating for a long time, and it's evolving and growing. Now, yoga I've only done for a couple of years. So there's many things, and I like to do before going to bed at night, a little bit of yoga and a little bit of just body strengthening, a few push-ups or whatever it may be. This is what it's for, is to unwind the body at the end of the day. Unwind the body, it's also the mind, so I can go into my sleep in a calm way, or going to a party and then hopping straight into bed. The music's still going in your head. And then you expect yourself to sleep, not just sleep, get into a deep sleep and keep it going all night. So by doing a little bit of stretching, a little bit of just to release the body, doing through the breathing, this now allows me to get the body and mind, it knows it's out of a habit that it's going to be able to go into sleep soon. So you're programming it, releasing it from the day, getting it ready to go into sleep. So when it's sleep time, the mind and body is all ready to fall in there. The body's released the physical stress and the mind's let through the emotional stress as well. It's very, very important to get this happening. Now, where does all these habits got to do with business and success? Well, it's very simple. If we can alleviate all the distractions, then we have the chance to focus in. Now, how many high-performance people have you seen that are successful? Do they look all agitated? To me, there's some sort of calmness inside it because they know inside emotionally that they can reach their goals. And they've done it and they're constantly working on it. They're just focusing on what they do want instead of what they don't want. So it's the same thing. When I'm doing my exercise, I'm focusing on what I want. I'm being thankful. It's like, wow, I'm growing. You can see exercise. I'm more creating positivity out of it. Reprogramming my mind. Okay, if I do these things, I can make it happen and can feel good about it. So when we come up to an obstacle, I know myself, like there's something I have to work through, call it an obstacle or a problem, whatever it may be. But remember, a problem, in my mind, a problem like a simple one, 1 + 1 = 2. There's a problem and then there's a solution. So when I look at it, not a problem as a bad thing, I look at problem that has a solution. My job is like, oh, I can relieve the stress, I can do my breathing, and I can focus on achieving the goal to get the solution. Now, there may be many ways it may happen, and then at the same time, it's like, I know there's the solution. Do I need to put the pressure on myself when it's going to happen? No. I know it's going to happen. And you know what? That may mean that my next day or a little bit later on, in my meditation, I have to calm the mind and body down, knowing that I can find the solution. So it's almost like doing the homework and then going on and doing the real thing. So then you've got your mind thinking in a positive way of what you do want. It's a very, very effective habit. Now, I've just shared with you a few very positive ways to create a high performance habit. Now, one of the things is you may feel like it's not real. Yes, it isn't real, but what are we doing? The only way it feels real is because it's on an old habit. So what we've got to do is reprogram the mind and do the actions and thinking to what we do want. We've got to move it from the old way to the new way, and it takes time for that transition. Sometimes it wants to pull it back. That happens. I know it happens to me. It wants to pull it back, and I'm like, oh, that's the old habit kicking in. Now I've got to go and remember, focus back on the new habit that I want to bring in. And the more I focus on that, bring it back into calmness, the more I know it's going to be more cemented in. It's going to be more stronger and more dominant. So when situations come up, that will be the default, not the old way. Now, I want to thank you very, very much for staying to the end. I appreciate it a lot. I'd love to hear from you. We'd be happy to do a one-on-one session with you. So see if we can work, because I have one-on-one coaching. We also got the group sessions working as well. One last thing before I forget. If you're already subscribed, I appreciate it a lot. Thank you very much. If you're not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. And I'd like to hear some of your high performance habits too. Thank you very much.